Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. Today we'll be reviewing the game between the Eliminator Challenge between Lahore Qarandars and Multan Sultans. Big man David Wiese at the helm. He with the bat, with the ball, with the field, he really took the game away from Multan Sultans. A pretty impressive performance by him individually and of course the team as well. And it sets us up for an absolutely entertaining final. We'll get to that eventually. But the game today, it started off well for Lahore with the openers chipping in with some decent runs. Tamim Iqbal and Fakhar Zaman coming in with the runs and just when they lost their way in the middle and you were thinking that maybe 150, 160 is going to be on the cards, David Vaise picked it up and 48 of, I think, was 21 balls with 5 fours and 3 sixes. He brings them up to a challenging 180 total. What are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, it was a really good game. I think that's what I was talking about at the opening stand yesterday. Tamim
Yeah,
Iqbal and Fakhar Zaman, that's what
correct.
they needed.
Yep.
They couldn't push on, but at least they set the platform. And then I
Right.
think the likes of Afridi and Imran Tahir and even Adam Laith, they dried up the runs. I
Yeah.
think they put really good in the middle overs.
Yeah.
And I think Multan did a really good job to a certain point. I think, 150, 160 would have been an easily chaseable total.
Right.
But then I think the likes of Junaid Khan, he didn't bowl well in the death. He sprayed the ball all over, and
Sohail
we see
Tanvir also.
Surat Tanvir as well. He was very expensive. I think his penultimate over as well. His last over of the
Yeah.
spell was expensive as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think very disappointing the way they ended. But I still felt that it was a chaseable target with the dew coming in. And the small ground and the way they started as well with the
Yeah.
bat
Yeah.
Multan, I felt that it was a chaseable target throughout. But some excellent bowling from Lahore. I think we say again, man, ball, bat. We saw something similar to what Marcus Stoinis did in the qualifier two in the IPL. It was a similar
Yeah.
kind of performance in that way,
Right.
very impactful. I think his 48 was incredible, and then though it picked 3 wickets and he took an excellent catch to
Catch.
dismiss Russo.
Yeah.
Russo can be very dangerous.
Right.
But one thing I didn't understand, maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. The commentators were saying the opposite. When I think they were, I think Russo was batting, and I think the top order batsman, I think no, Shan Masood was still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just when Light got out, Shan Masood was still there. They were saying that the run rate is climbing up, but they're still getting the singles. But they're like, oh, they need to go for the biggest, and they went for the biggest and got out. I thought on a pitch like this with the dew coming in, it didn't matter how much you it's a matter of taking it deep. Like, don't lose your wicket. So I felt
Right.
that even if they hit 6, 7 runs and over, they could have caught up in the last 4 overs because we saw Khushdil Shah, like in the end, he hit like 35 and 17 balls. It was too late because he didn't have any support. But I think
Yeah.
if someone like Shan Masood stayed, I think they could have easily caught up with the rate. So I found that a bit strange.
Yeah, I think they took a little bit too much pressure on themselves. I think that the big game event also kind of
Yeah,
played with their heads a little bit.
perhaps.
So maybe that was a little bit of an issue. But I honestly believe that after the way they started, they should have really gone on to at least give them a little bit more of a fight because I think I have a feeling like once the top three top few guys get out, I think that the middle order is a little bit lacking in terms of like the likes of Shahid Afridi and stuff. He's not been able to with the bat. He's been pretty poor lately. He's been performing. He's been performing with the ball, no doubt, but with the bat, he's been a little bit susceptible. So I
Yeah.
think the big game, the experienced guys should have stepped up a little bit. The likes of Shan Masood, especially because he's captain as well, he should have jumped in a little bit, and maybe taken a little bit more responsibility. You're right
Yeah.
that they should have taken it deep, and if they did, they probably had a better chance of getting it.
Yeah, basically, I felt they pressed the panic button too early. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
when lights got out, they're still ahead of the game. I felt like
right.
they just needed to rotate the strike and then take it. In the end, you'll always get like that 20 run over. Like, I mean, in these kind of wickets with the dew
Yeah,
there
yeah,
and a small ground, you will get like a 15, 20 run over if you have your batsman
right.
set. So I felt that's where they missed a trick. But like you said, it just could have been like the pressure of a big game.
Yeah, Ravi Bapara didn't click today. It was a little bit of an unfortunate situation. Like, he's been an important player for Multan, of course, with the bat in the middle. And when he didn't click, it felt like everyone around him kind of tapered off as well. Unfortunately, I mean Russo and Bopara are pretty decent players. I'm not saying that the middle order, but then it's just that Bopara has been performing well, and when he didn't click today, it just didn't work out for them after that, I think.
Yeah.
So I mean, hats off to Lahore. I think in the more important phases in the game, they were the better team, and that's kind of what happened. I mean, in terms of fielding, and I think most importantly, the big man as well, right? David Vesey, he kind of really invigorated this team and brought the victory from I mean,
Yeah,
a very very important hand to play for sure.
he was the difference. Like, all rounders
Yeah,
can
pretty
win you
much. Yep.
T20 games single handedly, and that's exactly what happened with the bat,
Yeah.
ball, and in the field. He won them the game. But very important contributions from the likes of Haris Rauf and Shaheen Afridi. I felt they picked up wickets at the
Wickets.
right
Yep.
At the right time. Haris Rauf picked up.
Especially. Yep.
Yeah, he picked up two in a row. I think the ball he brought Afridi first ball to get him
Yeah.
out for a duck.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant delivery. He
Yep.
apologized to him as well. But I felt, yeah, they picked up wickets at the right time, and that's it. Like, in these kind of conditions, it's not easy to bowl with that wet ball. But if you're picking up wickets, it puts the pressure, whatever score you're chasing.
Yeah.
I felt 180 was chaseable, but like if you keep picking up wickets, that's how you pile the pressure on. If they had like 6-7 wickets in hand in the last 3 overs, I think Multan would have chased it no matter
Right.
whatever the equation was.
Yeah, I think so too. I think and a very very smart bowling as well. They knew the ball was wet, so they were taking the pace off of it, not giving anything for the batsman to play with. You saw that ball where Sohail Tanvir got out. He had completed a shot and he had finished his complete shot, and that's when the ball went to hit the wicket. It's just like very smart slow bowling by David Weiss and of course the what was it? Haris Rauf as well. He
Yeah.
bowled as well. He
Yeah.
bowled pretty well as well. So yeah, hats off. I mean, it just sets us up for a very entertaining finals.
Yeah, and did you notice like there was like quite a few wickets in the last 2 days in the PSL? The batsman skies it right up in the air, and then the
Yeah.
keeper catches it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, is that extra bounce or like off the seam? But
It's also probably like very slow pitches. I think there's
yeah,
hardly any pace in the pitch, so it kind of doesn't help. Like
yeah, they're mistiming it.
you have to create all the power by yourself, and then a
Yeah,
little bit of mistiming just goes up in the air.
yeah, I
So.
noticed like 3-4 wickets straight up in the air. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one thing I noticed. But yeah.
But fair enough. I think that kind of wraps it up. Man of the match.
David Wiese, yeah,
Got
very
the one
simple.
young
He
guy,
made it
the
very
big
easy,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did everything. He caught the ball, he took the wickets, and he hit the runs. And like some sublime shots, man, in the last 2 overs.
Yeah,
He just
So
went after
the
it.
last two balls of Sohail Tanvir as well. Like both, I mean,
Yeah.
left-sided straight sixes were pretty
Yeah,
solid.
bang
So,
straight out of the ground. Like those were crazy big sixes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those last 2 overs changed the game. Like, I still felt like, remember yesterday we were talking about like the 160 is a bit like, what you should aim for 180. And I felt they got the score, but I still felt they might be 10-15 runs short. But I think the momentum that they took in those last two
Right.
overs was huge. And in a pressure game, that's what counts.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if those last two balls, if they wouldn't have had those two sixes, maybe David Wesley got out just at that last ball or something of that sort. 170 would have been a very very gettable total. It would have
Yeah.
given them a lot of hope. It would have given Multan a lot of hope going into their batting innings. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that sets up the rivalry between Lahore and Karachi. So the Lahore Qalandars are going to be playing the Karachi Kings in the finals,
Yeah.
and there's going to be a new winner. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
In a couple days' time. So your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I mean, first time Lahore made it to the finals. Like, they've always had some amazing players. Even the likes of AB de Villiers has played for them, but they haven't won a trophy. But like, I think it's going to be a huge game, massive rivalry. I think it's the oldest rivalry in Pakistan cricket. The fans from both cities, like, they'll be up for this game. I think it'll get a huge amount of viewership, especially in Pakistan, because two big cities and some big names there, big players. I feel it's going to be a really good contest. I'm tipping Karachi just because of the likes of Babar Azam and the team, Mohammad Amir, some high quality players, and Imad Wasim contributing with both bat and ball. I think they have some really good talent there, and they played well in the group stages as well, and then again in the qualifier they won that tight game. That'll help them, that'll give them some experience if the game gets close. So I feel the tips in favor, but like this Lahore team, anything can happen. They have match winners. We saw today Wiese came and scored. You have the likes of Hafiz, you have Fakhar Zaman, so you have high quality players there as well. So I think two teams with high quality players, and it's going to be very interesting to watch.
Yep, I agree with you as well. I think it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be an entertaining game as long as it's like a very entertaining clash. I think it'll be fun to watch. Goes on the last ball, something very some kind of drama would be fun to see for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, your players to watch out for.
I think from Lahore, I want to see Fakhar Zaman, I just feel that if he gets going, like he can smash
He's
it.
a good player, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, in a final, someone like a Tamim Iqbal or Fakhar Zaman, if they can get like a high score, like and convert, like today they got off to a good start, but if they can convert it, I
Yeah,
think it'll be excellent for them. I actually, Shaheen Afridi is always my player to watch out
yeah.
for from Lahore, but I'm just going with the batsman. I just feel if an opening batsman can, set the tone early on in a final, they'll take the pressure off the bowler. So yeah, if they bat first. Otherwise, still I'll probably go with Fakhar Zaman. And from Karachi's point of view, Mohammad Amir, I just feel like he's coming off an excellent super over. The Lahore batsman will be looking to attack him. There's some experienced batsmen there, Mohammad Hafiz. So his battle with him will be interesting, even with David Wiese. So I think Mohammad Amir, both with the new ball and the old ball, will be very interesting to watch. But yeah, I think I went with a bit different kind of pick for Lahore, but for Karachi, I think it's Amir for me.
Yeah, I think for me the professor from Lahore. I think
Yeah.
he didn't click today with bat and ball, a little bit poor. I mean, compared to his yesterday's performance, I think he was a little bit varied today. But I think he'll get a day's rest and he'll be ready to go and he'll be ready to go. So, and he's an experienced cricketer, so I just like to see how he perform. And from Karachi, for me, it'd be Babar Azam. I can't look past him because of the quality of the player that he is. So for sure, one of these guys, gets a big score and it'd be fun to see.
Yeah.
And also tipping Karachi just for Dean Jones as well. Just I mean, it'd be a nice tribute to him as well.
Yeah, no,
So
definitely. There's
yeah,
actually one thing I would really like to see. I didn't mention it because, but I think Imad Wasim, I think it'll be very interesting to see
for
because,
sure.
I mean, he contributes with both bat and ball, but
Yeah,
captaincy, he might be tipped for like I think, did he captain Pakistan in T20s before? I'm not sure, but I think he's in and around that talk, like, for the
yeah,
future.
yeah.
So I think, watch out for him. As a captain, if he can win this, it'd be really good for his career as well. So it'll be interesting to see.
Absolutely.
I think he held his nerve really well in the last game.
Hmm.
So I think it'll be interesting to see his captaincy and the way he takes the boys onto the field and strategizes
Absolutely, I
best.
think 100%. I think he's a solid player. He's a good. He performs in all three departments, so it's a very useful kind of an all rounder to have. So it'd be fun to see how that goes as well. But I think
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
So both of us tipping Karachi to win.
Yes, I probably. Yeah, I think Karachi will. They
Yeah.
just have that.
Oh,
But like if you look at it on paper, there's some like really good bowlers and batsmen on both
yeah.
sides,
Of
and
course. Of
Pakistani
course.
talent as well on both
Yeah.
sides. But I just feel like Karachi has they just have enough to take
A
it
little bit of an
forward.
edge. Yeah.
Yeah, especially Babar Azam is in the form of his life, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so. Uh,
345 runs already, and he has one more
you
game
need
to
to
go. So
get him out early, otherwise he's gonna score, like he'll score
yeah.
a 50, 80, like it'll be, yeah, so it'll be an interesting watch for sure, 100%.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the game in a couple of days, and we'll catch you right after that.
Yeah,
Take
for
care.
sure, man. Take care and have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.